This is my first time using this. Oh, I am live. Okay, I'm gonna double check here.
I got a tiny microphone.
Oh, it just yep, we're live. Cool. Now, how do you see the? Oh, I guess I can't see the chat. I guess I can have it open and see the chat. I guess.
I can kind of see it. How do you pop it out? Pop out the chat. Can you do that? Oh, there it is. Bam! I'll just do that.
That's my first time doing this.
Is it safe? Smoking illness. What up, dog?
Is it safe? Yes. This is a safe space for all people. I mean, you're not going to get demonized here.
Be yourself because everyone else is taken.
We're just waiting on our other special guest, and then we'll get to the discussion over Seven Samurai and an important film by Akira Kurosawa. I have a lot to say about that guy. He's really, really good. I wanted to do a live stream so that you guys can peep and be part of the conversation. And the fact that I don't have to edit all this, that helps.
Right.
Tomorrow I'm actually doing an interview with Humble too.
Oh yeah, what movie are you talking about?
We're at Toxic Avenger 3.
Oh shit. So it's like a series.
Yeah, we've been.
Oh, didn't you already do Toxic Avenger? And you did 2
yeah, we did
as well?
Toxic Avenger 1, and then we did Toxic Avenger 2.
Shit, I saw one of them. I didn't know there was 2 of them. What the fuck?
There's actually 4, and there's a remake coming out at after the Gathering.
Oh, I was talking about your videos, but yeah, the remake.
Oh,
fucking that looks fun.
I can't wait to talk about Toxic Avenger 3 because I have a lot of questions to talk about with Humble about that one. Toxic Avenger 4 will probably come out before the Gathering. And I know that I'm trying to do something special for the remake. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Well, thanks for popping up, Spoken Realist. By the time, when Frankie comes in here, we will get to the program. I'm just kind of testing it now. This is the first time I'm using this kind of program. So yeah, Whoop, tell, Nashville. I went to the Louisville show. That was a really fun show to go to.
I went to the Newport show too.
I was at the Newport show with you, homie.
This is how high I am, bro.
That's how high you are? Yeah, I was there. Yeah. We were together, at least till like last end of the ICP set. The first half, I was knee deep in the crowd with my mother. She couldn't hang anymore.
That shit was dope as fuck, bro.
It was. Oh, we're on low volume. Okay, so I gotta fix something. All right.
So you went to the Louisville show too?
Yeah, it was actually on a whim.
Nice. The Ouija show was on a whim too.
It was actually because we couldn't do our streaming last week. I was able to go.
Oh yeah.
It was the same day we were supposed to stream. And as soon as they're like, it's not happening, I was like, oh, guess I can go to
Guess what? How far is it from where you're at? Cincinnati?
It's an hour and
it's not far at all.
No, I was like, well, I go to Columbus, and Columbus is about an hour 20, hour 30 from me. I'm like, might as well go to Louisville. I've never been there. It was right off the highway, so it was actually a really simple drive. And I think we're in talks of doing Hollow Wicked this year. Because it's on a Friday. It's on a Friday.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. Do I show?
Seven Samurai, it's the 71st anniversary of that shit.
71st. That's crazy.
Last year was its 70th anniversary.
Well, the same year, same as Godzilla.
Yeah, they were working on it at the same time.
Yeah, so Godzilla and Seven Samurai came out the same year. That is crazy. Two pivotal Japanese films that came out in 1954. And a lot has to, and a lot has both films have a lot of American influence in them. What's up, Lil Taff? Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Okay, let me see. Got me a message here. Bro, I'm ready to gather.
Yeah, it's about that time, ain't it?
Yes, it is. I got my ticket on Tuesday. I finally got it. I was like, yeah.
Oh shit. That was an extra fucking I'm ready to gather than when you seen that motherfucker.
yeah. I was I was talking to Sinister, and he was telling me about his set, and that got me really excited to see it.
I just saw it.
Well, no, I mean like his gathering set. Like he said, like he's doing.
Oh shit!
He's doing something special for it.
Oh fuck! Yeah. He talked about it at his set. Yeah. He talked about that, about how he was doing something special. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I kind of know what the special thing is, but I'm not gonna say.
Hell yeah.
Like, it's special. You should show up at August 13th at 2:30 or 3:30. No, 3:45 is his set. That's crazy.
Shit's gonna be dope.
I hope it's not the same time as the Silva challenge, because I want to see that Big Silva in action.
Dude, that shit's crazy. They lift the giant in the sky, and then they drop it, and then all the juggalos rush to get everything that's smashed.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I'm excited for this year. I know
I think that shit cracked my windshield last year. I parked too close to it. That's my bad. I parked too close to Big Silva. Like, what you expect gonna happen?
Yeah, well, last time Big Silva dropped, I felt it miles away, and I was just like, "Oh shit, what was that? Must have been Big Silva."
I like Jugga Silva. Have you met Jugga Silva?
No, I have not met Jugga Silva.
It's the one that homie's making with slaps and duct tape.
Oh,
it's got to be carried by a wagon now. It's so big. The next Big Silva.
Next Big Silva, we'll just have two, and then they just fight each other. That's the epic.
Like Beyblades.
Oh, okay, yeah.
How we get those big things spinning, man? They can't just drop them on each other. You have to like slingshot them.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. Oh man, we're just waiting on Mr. Frankie Goldie. What set are you excited to see at the gathering? And this is your 10th one. Congrats on being at your 10th?
20th.
20th. Sorry, my bad. 20th. That's the jersey that Taffy got you was dope as hell to celebrate your 20th. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. That was a surprise like a motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? I'm still grinning.
Yeah. Well, you can't tell because you get the mask on, but yeah.
I got the permagrin. But I really am smiling under this motherfucker.
Well, I mean, the last time, the first when we were at Jolly Jam, you had that mask. I could see you smile. It was so great. What set are you excited to see so far that's been announced?
Honestly, man, I'm gonna be corny and say I'm excited to see the Juggalos because that's really the set. Like the only lineup that matters to me is that lineup of us trying to get in that bitch. Have you fucking been in that? That shit's bottlenecked as fuck.
I'm excited this year's gonna be a little different for me because I'm actually going mostly alone and hanging out with the family that I have with. So I'll be hanging out with you, Camp Hot Meat.
Hey, if you a Juggalo, you never alone. You know how many motherfuckers.
I mean, like I'm fully embracing it, kind of thing.
Hell yeah, this is gonna be a dope year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like. This gives me with a lot of stuff going on. This gives me a lot of the Supa feel to it.
Oh
I feel
yeah.
like there's gonna be so much going on that you're gonna miss some things. So you gotta like really prioritize, decide where you want to go.
This is the first year we're hoteling it. Like I've slept in the dirt for like 20 years. I'm gonna finally hotel it. So like, if you need a shit shower or shave, I got you.
Yeah, because I'm camping. I gotta buy a tent and a sleeping bag.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the third time this actually would be my my 60 year. So I'm now
Nice.
on I'm on my double digits. Oh,
Hell
so
yeah.
not
You
double
take
digits,
two hands.
two hands. I'm on my two hands. And it's funny because the 6 is coming out too, of the second deck. And I just feel
That's
like
fucking perfect, bro.
it is. It is.
That's
And
perfect.
I'm one of those juggalos that when I got into it like fully, all the Joker cards already happened. So like
Right.
when Bang Bang Boom came out, like that was the start of me. Like, oh, I finally caught up to the point where new shit's coming out.
That was such a good gathering. That's probably like that's top 4 favorite gatherings was when they did the Bang Pow Boom. Oh my god, that gathering was
I
insane.
remember seeing. I used to because I couldn't go to the gathering because like during that time I was 15, 16 when Bang Pow Boom came out. So that gathering I would have been 16. Yeah, my dad wasn't gonna let me go to that thing, so I had to watch it on YouTube. And that
I
was
went
like
to
the
my
first.
first I was
My
on
first.
YouTube.
So I would have to wait. So I had to wait anytime the gathering happened. I had to wait to get people posting videos of the seminars, of the sets, and that's how I would
Naturally,
watch
I
it. That's how
remember.
I would digest it. So
I'd do the same thing.
so that gathering, their set, that's when they played it a few songs from Bang Pow Boom like live. So I got to hear that. That was pretty cool. Like hearing Bang Pow Boom and then like the fireworks are going off. Boo boo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they when they played that at the end, that's a good ender. When they played
It
that
is.
for Armageddon.
It's kind of been their ender for the last couple ones they've been doing Bang Pow Boom, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again this year. For if I had a guess of what their second set's going to be, I hope it's all second deck stuff. It should all celebrate the second deck.
I agree with that. I mean, that's a good idea.
Because if the first set is all about we're doing the Wraith and which I looked at the set list for the Wraith when they did that in tour, there ain't no goddamn Ringmaster song. Not one Ringmaster fucking song. Like how can you do a Wraith show and like celebrate what came before the Wraith and what on, and then not do any Ringmaster stuff? Like the fuck.
I think since you're at the gathering, they do bigger sets. You know what I'm saying?
I hope they bring that set, the old set from
Something for everybody.
I had the DVD of Bootleg in LA.
Right.
And I loved seeing that they had like a slot machine and they would pull and like, oh, it's like every time they did a Joker card thing, it would like, oh, we're doing Carnival of Carnage, and it would show up, and then the next song like, oh, now it's this one. I looked at the set, I was like, where is Ringmaster? Where is, like, you could do Murder Go Round, you could do Wagon, like why don't you do more Ringmaster stuff? I feel like it's crazy. Like I was wishing they did a it was the 30th anniversary of Ringmaster last year and nothing for it.
Is that your card?
That is, yeah, that's the one I got tattooed on me.
I knew it. The way you talked about it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
To me, it's when the clowns figured it out. Like it's what exactly when if you look at Ringmaster and what comes after Ringmaster, like the riddle box is kind of set the same way, which Malenko, like the way that the albums are set up and how they flow started with Ringmaster. Like you can't have riddle box without Ringmaster. That's just my opinion, and it's them at their most independent because the next album they make is a studio album with Jive. Like that's the one that they push the hardest independently at that time. So yes, is it my card? Yeah, it actually wasn't for a long time. I think Riddlebox was my card because it was my first one in. But as I keep listening, Ringmaster just keeps getting better.
It changes. It changes.
Oh, we got Frankie Goldie in here, so let me bring him into the stage.
Yo,
Frankie,
what's happening? What's happening?
what's
What's up,
happening?
Franklin?
Whoop whoop, motherfuckers.
Whoa,
How we feeling?
We're feeling
Feeling
pretty good.
good.
We held on discussions about Seven Samurai until you got here.
Oh, tight.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Phil right if you came in here as we were in the middle of talking about. Oh yeah, and then the first part's them setting up. I didn't want to do that to you.
For sure. Appreciate that, guys. Sorry about being a little bit late. And I am gonna multitask rolling juntas at the same time. I hope that's all right.
I also waited till you get here to smoke this as well. So
Okay. Now we're
I
here.
pre-rolled.
All gentlemen in attendance. Check. Junta, check. Okay. We're off to a good start.
Yep, and this is actually the 17th episode as well.
Fuck yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because of the things that are happening in my life at the time, this happens to be the 17th episode. So fitting.
I'll whoop to that.
My birthday was the first.
I whoop to that while being whoop.
Yep. It's like, and it fits because it's the 7th month. I was born on the 7th of the 7th month, July 1st. So it's like doing Seven Samurai just fit so perfectly. Now we talked about releasing this episode 7/7, and you do 2/5. It's also 7, so I mean 3 7s in the bitch. But whatever. This actually works out a lot better because now the chat can be a part of it too.
Okay, is there a chat?
There is.
Yeah.
We are live streaming now.
Oh, hey chat.
And
I'm not gonna be able to see the chat, so some of y'all gonna have to fill me in.
No problem.
People asked me if it was gonna be live, and I'm like, it's absolutely not gonna be live.
Okay, so it's live because Whoop had troubles getting into the
It's
other
my
way
fault.
I did it. So I was just like, all right. And then I kind of want to do it more live stream.
He said, fuck it, let's do it live.
Yeah.
Here comes the fuck shit.
Yeah, like
strap in, everybody.
It just like, hey, people see it when they see it.
Well, it's good though for your overall engagement. Though people really latch on to things that are live, and it's a treat to whoever subscribed and is able to see this.
Yeah, so. And it's when I did my Oscar live reaction, I did that live stream, and it was Cheese House who kind of was just like, yeah, more people could get involved when it's live.
Yeah, right. We're juggalos, man. We like raw shit.
Yeah. I mean, most of the conversations, like, I don't heavily edit my shit unless it's like totally off topic. I'm like, I gotta edit this out.
Yeah. Yo,
I never edited shit. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
It's off the cuff shit around here.
Okay. While Frankie Goldie is getting ready, Whoopkanda. I always ask this question when it comes to like these films. This is your favorite film. Tell me your history about Seven Samurai. What about Seven Samurai that you latched to? Because I mean, this is a 1954 Japanese black and white film. How the fuck did you find this film?
All right, on some Juggalo shit, I was watching Talks Hit, and they were talking about their Mount Rushmores of favorite movies, and Jump Steady was talking about his. And the way he fucking spoke about Seven Samurai, I was like, what the fuck? I've never even seen that. What the fuck is this movie? And I checked it out and damn near dropped a tear, dropped a laugh, dropped everything you can drop. And fucking like, it was my favorite movie from that point on.
So it was recent because I remember watching.
Yeah, recent.
That's probably
it was last year.
Yeah, because I was watching a little bit of the Talk Hit. And watching some of Jump Steady talk about his favorite film, and then the fact that you heard that and jumped onto it, that's great.
I did. Yeah, it was a surprise to me, man. I was like, wow, now this is my favorite fucking movie. Like, I didn't expect him to be right like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Frankie. Why Seven Samurai? When I talked about you, like, hey, you want to be on the show? What film? You said Seven Samurai, and that's like the film that you want to do. Why Seven Samurai?
Well, let me just say, it's so hard to like want to do a review slash like praise for film because there's so many good different films out there. You could have had your choice of anything. Literally, there's tons of great films, legendary directors, and you know, I felt like with this one, it sets the bar pretty high. There's a lot to cover and go over with it.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talking points, but also a lot of people consider it the most influential film of all time. And
Yeah,
it's
it's like
because
everything comes from it.
everything comes from it. And I mean, it's like, from early westerns to like anime to fucking Bugs Life.
Yes.
Like it really
Mad
touches.
Max.
Yeah, it really touches a lot of places, and some of them aren't obvious places because um, it's not just necessarily about the theme, which is a very strong theme of
Yeah.
getting the gang together type shit. It's the cinematography, it's the wipe away effects, the way that the film transitions. Like Star Wars stole from that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
literally, Kurosawa is a legendary director, and he already was a legend when he dropped Seven Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, Seven Samurai was like controversial in his catalog when it first came out, and it was considered a bomb. So that being said, like our appreciation for it damn near fucking 75 fucking years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
71.
later.
We discussed it. 71.
Yeah, so that far away, it's just crazy, man, because we're still discussing it. We're still drawing inspiration from it.
I mean, yeah, recently The Mandalorian did an episode that is blatantly Seven Samurai
Oh yeah.
to a T.
Yeah.
Like not to a T, but like the setup and everything. And it still draws a lot of inspiration to this day. You want
It's
to talk
got a
about
cool factor, man. It's got a big cool factor. You know what I'm saying? Especially for being when it came out. You know what I'm saying? The fucking score for the film, like the way it makes you feel like it's a 3.5 hour movie, dog.
Yeah, I know.
Like, but you lock in like it ain't shit. And that's the crazy part about it too, is because fuck a 3.5 hour movie. You know what I mean? Like most of these movies, they get it wrong, bro. You know what I mean? Like, who's got time for that? And it's like, I got some time for this. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's because every minute has every scene has a purpose. Like the pacing is done very well, and it kind of because it's set in this samurai, just like in a time where samurais are ronins, they're kind of like bounty hunters, they're kind of like for hire kind of thing. I think that the way that the film takes its time, especially when it
Yeah.
like the last hour is basically the conflict, but in that war, which in some movies, in American films, that's the last 20 minutes, and we're moving. It's like that last hour, like here we is, we're finally get to the point where we fight the bandits, and it's like we're feeling every emotion. When characters die, we feel it. We're seeing the plan that was set out in pieces. Before I dive into that, let me give you my history of Seven Samurai, because I've seen Seven Samurai prior to this viewing. This wasn't my first rodeo. I did this. I watched not most of his films in film school. It was my senior project. I was really into Kurosawa. It was a name I always heard, especially when it's associated with Star Wars, associations with, a lot of Westerns, spaghetti Westerns specifically blatantly took things from Kurosawa and brought
Fistful of
cowboys
Dollars,
into it.
especially.
Like Fistful of Dollars is Yojimbo, like to a T. Hidden Fortress is Star Wars. Is the New Hope. If you watch New Hope and you watch Hidden Fortress, they're kind of like you can see the similarities. So I've always heard about how great Seven Samurai is. I watched his other films, and then I'm watching this, and I'm just like you said, you're locked in. Because you have, some people might be able to watch this now because they have that familiarity of Bug's Life. Oh, this is kind of like Bug's Life. Now, because they kind of know what Bug's Life is about, they can take what they watch, even though it's subtitled. They kind of like, I know where we're going. And you're seeing how these pieces are put together. You're seeing how it originally was put together. And we're seeing how it plays out, and how what I love about Kurosawa films is he studied a lot of American films, started a lot, especially John Ford. You're talking about, Westerns taking from him. Well, Kurosawa took from Westerns. He watched a lot of John Ford films, and who also likes to do a lot of long shots, especially showing the scenery of America. Kurosawa wanted to do that to show off the scenery and the landscape of Japan, and also use it as a way of telling Japanese history stories. And how I don't like the cowboys. I don't like the fact that cowboys are substitute to samurais. Personally, I don't think it fits. I don't think I watched Magnificent Seven. It's not that good, honestly.
During the time, it was largely considered to be better, though.
No, it's not. Because what I love
Isn't
about
it the same thing?
It
like,
is the same
doesn't
thing,
Magnificent Seven come from
Seven Samurai? Yeah. Seven Samurai came from first, and then like 20 years later, or 15 years later, it came as Magnificent Seven, which people probably saw.
I don't think it was that long after.
It was the late 60s, early 7. Oh,
I think it was closer.
I don't think it was that long. I think literally. So Seven Samurai came out, and then before the end of that, the 50s, I want to say it came out. I want to say Magnificent Seven came out at like 59, something like that.
What do you think is that? 1960.
Can you say it again?
1960.
Okay.
So what I think what's missing, what I love about Seven Samurai is because the themes of class and how class dictates actions or dictates decisions, or how in this class system, especially during time where, there is no ruler, class is kind of all over the place. There's no, like, the ruling class kind of don't have purpose anymore, but the farmers keep doing what they're doing. They provide food to everybody. What the Magnificent Seven is missing is that essence of class, the human connection that I feel with all these characters.
They're missing the farmers and shit.
Well, it's so in the Magnificent Seven is basically like a Mexican town, or like a Western town, probably in Mexico, probably in like Arizona, Texas, kind of like that, right? Bandits come in and threaten this town, so the town decides to hire bounty hunters, cowboys, to come in and protect them. And then you have different characters of bounty hunt of cowboys.
I see why it's the same thing.
American one. They remade it in 2016. That one's a little better. It's still not Seven Samurai.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I ain't never even seen that one.
You don't need to. It'd be fun. Since you love Seven Samurai, I would recommend it just to see what an American lens, or what
everything I see, I'm like, everything comes from this. So
and that's one of them. And when it was released in America, they actually shortened the film. They cut pieces out, so they didn't get the full 3 hour and
it confused audiences and shit.
Yeah, for some reason, America thinks they're superior in films, so they really try to and treats their audience pretty dumb sometimes. So they're like, oh, they're not gonna sit this long for this movie, blah 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 blah.
Dude, he did that with a $500,000 budget.
Well, yeah, that's another thing too. Is the reason why this film didn't do so well. Kurosawa went over budget, and that really made the studio really pissed off.
But still, it's only $500,000, but it made $2.3 million. So it's like, who was right?
It's kind of like, he was right. And then his success afterwards. I mean, like, you watch Thorns of Blood, like, he kept making really good films after it. Kurosawa's a man. Watch Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs is a good one. It actually has the head samurai and Kishiro the young, like, not really samurai guy, they're actually they're cops together in Stray Dogs. It's really good.
Yeah, I like that
Thorn
about
of Blood was
Kurosawa.
pretty good.
Yeah, Frankie, have you ever seen Thorns of Blood?
Yes.
What'd you think of that one? That's another Kurosawa film.
I think it's good, man. And you know what? It's hard to know which Kurosawa movie is really the best.
To me, it's Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai is definitely fighting for the top spot, but I really like Yojimbo
Yojimbo's pretty
a,
good.
a lot. And to me, for a while, that was the one. But I will say the reason why I even focused in on Seven Samurai, especially for this discussion,
Yeah.
was because Seven Samurai is somewhat of like a comfort movie for me. And it's because it's well stated. It's like I know what's happening. I can peer into it at any time and really just lock in, like I said. And it's so enjoyable. Like it's tranquil almost because when you hear the music, you really hear the music. You know what I mean?
And
And
sometimes
in this,
there's a lot of scenes where there isn't a lot of music. It's very silent, but when it comes in, you just hear drums, boom, 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 boom.
yeah,
And it's just like, and it's kind of like it's preparing you for war. It's like, all right, it's like it's
Yeah,
like
it starts matching the
slowly build
horses.
up, because the whole
yeah,
movie is a build up. I mean, the
yeah,
first scene we get the bandits. We see the bandits that peer over the village, and I love that shot. I mean, I'm gonna gush a lot about these shots, but I love peering down to the village and seeing how it looks, because we're gonna see a map later, just seeing that
right.
down, and like, oh, we're gonna come back and fucking raid these bitches again. We know it. And then it's like, all right, we're in, because now that's the old man. The difference between Japanese culture and us is like the respect of the elders.
Yeah.
So of course,
I think it should always be that way.
it used to be that way, but in Japan, it's really important to respect your elder. Like I wouldn't say
Yeah.
he ruled over them. He just kind of like he had experience, he had knowledge. They just wanted to hear his opinion, and they based it around that.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
Yeah. I think it's a really well spoken story. It makes sense. It's true to the elements of the Japanese culture.
Mhm.
I feel like the pacing is really good as well. And some people might think that's crazy because it's a 3.5 hour movie. But essentially,
It's worth it.
it's like you said, every hour there's major shit happening and it doesn't gloss over anything.
No.
And it feels like a natural progression. And I don't know if you guys know, but like to the people that have never seen it, go watch it.
Yes.
First of all.
Yes.
But second of all, when you watch it and when you guys rewatch it, pay attention to how much time goes on in the film. At the very beginning, you have the master samurai and he's getting his top knot cut. Throughout the film, he grows hair back, and by the end of the film, he has hair.
The thing that
Like,
the characterization I love about him is that any hard decision, he's always rubbing his head because he's feeling how different it is, because everybody has top knots in here. It's a Japanese hairstyle where you have pretty much the top of your dome is bald, and then all the way around your hair is you have hair, the whole Hogan hair. I mean, like you say that Hogan has a top, but there's a different thing. So before we even get to him, it's kind of how the farmers viewed samurais. They build this expectation about what these people are like. Some of the farmers are worried, like, well, if we bring these samurais in, they're just gonna, are they gonna take our women? Or are they like there's not a trusting factor with these people.
How did they decide on 7? You know what I'm saying? Something about 4 wasn't enough.
It was the head samurai's idea that they need 7, and when they went back to the old man and go, hey, we're gonna get 7, the old man's like, well, that's funny, because like if you would have said 10, I would have said 14. Like he was like, I gave you a number, but we always need more.
yeah, he more or less said that 7 was actually the right amount.
Yeah,
but that he asked for more because he knew that they wouldn't be able to pull it off if they did set the bar pretty high.
Quotation is there's 5 real samurais. Okay, 5 like legit experience
Yeah, but how many were left?
Okay, well, hold on. And then we have the trainee, who is like, teach me
the
your
disciple.
ways. Disciple, and then you have
the triangle.
Koshiro, who claims he's a samurai, but we find out later he was just an orphan farmer boy that idolized the samurai, and that's what he wished he was, and that he kind of created this backstory for himself.
My favorite character.
He to me, he is the heart of the film, because
he's the personality type for a lot of different characters that would be through the years too.
And he's the character that kind of lives in both classes, right? He's the kind of ones like, I was a farmer, so I know how it feels to be lower class, and here I am mingling with the samurais who think they're high and noble, and that's why he can kind of like, he relates better with the villagers than the other samurais because he's more personable. Like the kids love him, but he's like a goofy character. But when the farmers first get to looking for samurais, they want money because during this time, there is no emperor, so it's like they don't serve anybody but themselves. So of course they're now like bounty hunter kind of things. It's an easy American translation, like bounty hunter kind of thing. So as they're trying to look for him, like the farmers don't have a lot of money because the bandits just fucking stole it.
Yeah.
So I love how we as an audience are feeling we're getting the viewpoint of this world through the farmers and how we are scared because they're scared.
Yeah.
And there's filmed the face like the whole time.
You know, there's a lot I want to say about the farmers too, but I want the pacing for the episode to be good too. So please remind me at the end of what I want to say about the farmers. Okay?
Because
I think we should go point by point with this shit.
It starts with the farmers.
Right. So this is how the brilliance, as you watch the movie over and over again, you realize, and then the fact that it's black and white I love the fact that it's black and white because there's a lot of fucking grays here. Every like the samurais have some grays, the farmers really have some grays because we picture them as, we sympathize with them. Oh, the poor farmers. Oh, they're so sad. But then when we go back to the village and they find out they have all these fucking warrior shit, the armor, the swords and all that.
Trinkets and shit.
How fucking dastardly they actually are.
How about crafty? Because the day before the final fight, they had all these like different things like sake and like exotic chips. Like they pulled up with shit.
And it was Koshiro.
That party was dope. The first victory of the first battle.
Koshiro was the one who goes, they have this shit, like they're farmers. Like don't buy into this shit. Like they have shit hidden. Like don't and guess
what? Even food, which is a part of the conflict.
Yes. So like, well, especially in the beginning, like we feel so simple. Oh, somebody stole their rice, and then like we feel so sorry for them, so helpless. But then it changes. Like you're because the film, you're spending so much time with these characters, you kind of get a sense of who they are as people.
Yeah.
Not just as badass warriors, but we're actually spending time with them as people and their struggles and their pain.
All right, fuck it, Josh. I'm about to turn up. You ready?
Yeah. What's up?
We're going another junta, but also, listen, Uncle Frank is talking now. I'm going to just drop the bomb on you about the people and why I actually think that the farmers are weak as hell and basically pandering to the fucking need. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing about the farmers. They kind of are dirty bastards.
Yes.
Because they are only farming and they only have to deal with these people once per year. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't have the ability to protect themselves, so it is what it is. You know what I mean?
They can hide all that shit, but they can't hide food for later.
No, they can, dude. Like they did. They did hide food. It's just they lived kind of frugally because that's what they were forced to do. They fucking eat the millet and not the fucking rice.
Because they're saving that shit and selling it. It's their livelihood. So
it's because they're fermenting it in the back, y'all. Like, did you see those giant jugs of sake? Bros are drinking out there. Like, But no cap though. Like, at the very end of the film, he says like, we're always the losers,
Yeah.
basically. Like, and it's because at the end of the film, I don't want to do too many spoilers. Do
It's
we do
already too late. The
spoilers?
film came out 71 years ago, Frankie.
Okay, well, check it out.
Time. They've had the time.
I'm gonna say some people passed away. It wasn't like
Yes, you don't have to reveal. Yes.
it wasn't like a war that benefited too terribly either side if you look at it a certain way. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of just another day and it's another like war is hell scenario type shit. But the thing is that what you take away from it is like you have the samurais that are standing there, they're having this discussion.
Mhm.
They're onlooking the farmers and they're kind of jealous of them
Yes.
because they don't have to know a lot about war. They can go back to their fucking ignorant lives.
One joins them, right?
No. Just there's
remember there's three, and the young wannabe one kind of joins them because of the girl.
The disciple is still alive.
I get the point.
Yeah.
I get the feeling though that the disciple at the end of the film though, he's just like, I'm gonna go back to fucking this bitch.
He's the one that fantasized about being, I'm gonna be a samurai, all this honor, and
then he got a piece of pussy, bro. He got one piece of pussy, and he changed his whole fucking life.
And you know what?
Yep.
And the fact that he had to realize the class system, he had to live and feel what it's like to be a samurai, and especially during a time where like they are just kind of not. The farmers get to live their lives.
Exactly.
The samurais are dying off. It's like we lose because we lost numbers. Like
it's kind of crazy because it's such a relative statement, though. It's like we're like in captivity, and like our minds and our systems. You know what I mean?
They were used as fools.
We're slaves. We're not the samurais in this shit. We need somebody else to protect us. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, type shit. And these guys, their job is incredibly hard because it has to be like a noble thing, but also nobody really gives a fuck about their concerns. It's just another day in a fucking bloody battlefield. You know what I mean?
The fact that the pretty much the villagers are like, job done. Now fuck off, basically. It's just
they went and had a fucking party. They're fucking out there dancing in the rice fields and shit. Yeah. Bro, they did not give a fuck while they're burying the dead. There's literally a fucking monument hill dedicated to the fallen samurai. These motherfuckers got the fucking audacity to be over there singing Whistle While You Twerk by the Yin Yang Twins in sequence.
I mean, they're at SeaWorld and they're just like, yeah.
That's what it was like.
Yeah. It's just then when you watch the film again, you just kind of feel like they did this for free. Like they helped these people to be like, it's like the money didn't matter, just like because they saved these people, they did their job, but it's like they didn't get anything in return. They did this out of kindness of their hearts. They pretty much they sacrificed themselves to make sure that this farm survives.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you remember one of the first samurais coming in. He's speaking to the master, and they realize they know each other.
Yep.
You know the guy who he knows?
Yeah, he gets a musket.
Yes, so check this out. That dude is talking about how he stayed alive in the last battle. He like literally floated in the water for like a day, pretending to be dead.
And shit falling over the place.
Yeah. And the thing is that after he tells that story, he's just like, like basically like I wish it would have killed me type shit. Like, you know what I mean? I wish I could escape from this life. So the samurai, even though they're super badass, they're expecting to one day go down and become that fucking monument hill. You know what I mean? Like, with their swords stuck into the fucking ground and they can finally be at peace. I feel like the War is Hell theme is one of the most powerful themes in all of cinema. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just because, like, the strong have to protect the weak at the end of the day. But also, they don't feel good about anything. You know what I mean? It's just like clocking in another day, fucking, maybe today will be the day I die.
Right. And
You know?
and that's almost like when they die, that's when they, they can be remembered. That's when they can finally rest, and then like what their hard work can be memorized, kind of thing.
Yes.
And the fact that they live, what they just did in this battle doesn't really matter that much, because now it's like they'll die in the next battle, and then that's what they'll be remembered for. They're
Also,
you're just used as tools. The lords and emperors use the samurai as tools, as and they gain rank and riches because of it, as being a killing machine. Well, what do you do with the killing machine when it's like the clones in Star Wars and the Clone Wars TV show? It's kind of like the Bad Batch, like kind of explain like what do you do with clones after the Empire doesn't need them anymore? Kind of like that. Like they're kind of lost. They don't know what to do. So they're gonna do with the one thing that they know how to do, war. And I mean, like sooner or later, that's gonna kill you as a human, because like all you're doing is slaying people. And I felt like the badass swordman, right? When we first meet him, he's playing
that
with
I need a musket. That I need a musket fucking part, dude.
Oh, so so this guy, like, he's a really good swordsman, and then first he's play fighting with somebody. He's like, I would have.
He's like a master.
He's like, hey, I would have killed you. Like, nah, that's not true. Let's do it again with real swords. And he's like, I don't like. He didn't want to kill this dude, but he's like, all right, you fucked around. And
That's most people that are badass with it.
Right?
They don't want to do it.
No emotion. So when the disciple character says like, hey man, you're really cool, I honor you, he kind of like that gave him joy. Like what he does is appreciated, because most of the time he just does his job and no one really gives a shit.
Yeah.
He was acknowledged.
Yeah. Yeah, his character is really cool too, man, because like the level of experience is obvious. It's like, okay, these guys are pretty good. They all do something dope, right? Well, this guy is just miles above even the guy who's coordinating the attacks. Like, he's such a badass samurai. He literally just was like, okay, you need that? I'll be right back. Came back with a musket. Here you go.
And kind of, it's almost like Kushiro
went to sleep, took a nap.
He's like, yeah, I gotta go to sleep now.
I did my work. Wake me up when the battle starts, because I can start killing people. And then the way he dies, like, you feel it, because it's like it's the technology that's gonna wipe out them, right? Yeah. Guns, like this is like the primitive of guns right now. Like, sooner or later, these weapons, as told in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, my head.
Yeah.
That what like the next thing is happening, and the time of the samurai is over, and just the fact that two of the big characters that really gave this film heart and badassery died by muskets.
Yeah. And you know what? The last bit of the film is incredible, the way that it like wraps up after the final battle.
Yeah.
And it's because like they didn't really know it back then, but certain characters would go on to be fan favorites, obviously. So two of the biggest fan favorites out of this movie you've been watching for 3 hours are gonna die in the last half hour type shit.
I mean, the last hour is like the war. So like you're watching this, and it feels like, and I like that. So if you broke down this 3-hour movie, right? The first part is seeking samurais. The first hour, you're kind of with the farmers, and you're trying to find the 7 samurais. You're trying to find your characters, and they do a really good job with distinguishing the 7. Like you can tell on screen who's who.
Yeah. Each one is very defined as a personality, and they all have like unique traits that you can easily call out and call back.
And that's through multiple scenes. Like a film today would do this first hour probably in the first 30. So you're cutting a whole half of it which you lose some characteristics. That's why some side characters don't feel as important because they didn't spend the time telling you who these people are, which this film does. All right, so the second half, the second hour is meet the village and setting up the plan. Understanding the village. Now we're getting the location of the village and understanding what's that like. What's the dichotomy? Who's in charge? The people in there. They're very colorless. They're okay.
I also gotta say the war plan was a big part of that second hour.
Yes.
And if you guys just think about like how meticulous this
They
plan
300
really was,
that shit.
Yeah.
they definitely 300 that shit. But also like this is where it comes into a visionary sensibility. It's like we're like take yourself out of the film for a second.
Yeah.
Imagine that Kurosawa is actually drafting this and he knows how the fucking village layout is and he's basically instructing a very comprehensive plan of we go here at this time, they're going to try to come down this way. We flooded this area so the horses can't get through and we've already gotten all the rice from the area ahead of time. They know that they're going to try to fucking take the front houses, the top 3, and they were like, we don't have coverage to protect it, so those houses are fucking gone and need to be evacuated. Like, man, I could go on and on. There's a fence that they create that literally fucks them up. They can't get over the top of it without getting off the horses. It's a very psychological, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. The way it works is it's a lot of moving pieces, but they know how the pieces are going to move.
And another thing about time and the pacing is like when you're in the second hour, it's a different location. We're now in a different location, right? The first hour we're kind of in that city. The second hour we're in this village, and you're learning as the samurai's learning the setups of this village. And I love how Kurosawa shows you the map, so you can actually see where everything's at. And I love the layout. And I'm like, all right, boom, 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 boom. So then when the battle happens, we invest in that time and that plan so we can see
each directions. They plan that shit out.
Hey, and I love how it's like we're not going to do anything in the north side. No, we we need a good offense as well. Like we can't just think we're going to survive strictly on defense. Sooner or later, we need to attack.
Yeah,
and we had those ideas like
look at this. We need to cross out some of them circles.
Yes, and so usually
that's genius. That shit is genius.
Correct, because it tells you the audience how many more enemies are left. Gives us a visual representation of what like when we see it, we understand. So you don't have to keep explaining to me these circles mean the guys. No, exit. All right, you can do your count thing, and when like the symbols and everything.
Yeah,
and I love how the symbols for bandits were the same symbols as samurais. They were both circles.
Yeah.
That was always
except the triangle.
You know, Koshiro, who kind of like embodies them all, like in a way.
Yeah.
Because
he's the mascot for the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I always think about though in perspective though, it's like I watch the movie, it's great, but then I have to look at it and then it's like, okay, this guy is the originator of this, and this. But also there's a lot of things that are obviously fucking clever. The map is very clever.
Yep.
But also even beyond that, understanding how much of the set they had to build and
burn down,
how it looks massive. Yep, the burn. I was gonna say the burning thing too, because do you know why Kurosawa started really directing that multi-shot, which he's now known for? The multi-cameras.
You tell me.
Yeah, the multi-cameras.
Well, he did it because he, like we talked about, he liked the idea of widescreen. Everything's on the screen all at once. We talked about
how panoramic.
Yeah. We talked about how they like the long shot, but also here's the Kurosawa spin on it. The thing that Kurosawa does is he likes to have action everywhere. Like you can look from left to right and there's something moving the entire time. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, because of these sort of timings, you would need multiple cameras, and nowadays it's not even a question.
No,
But
you need it.
the primary reason of why he had to have multiple cameras set up for these wide shots, like I said, is because they didn't have the fucking money to do the burn more than once.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
One
the
time.
thing that's part of the reason why they went so over budget too, is because okay, so in the story you have the bandits show up, the samurai show up, okay. There's scouters that get sent down, and then the samurai decide that this is the time to make a move in with like a small team.
Yeah.
And
The
one of the
old lady with the
samurais,
rake.
And actually,
Remember that?
yeah, and
so they hit with the
they brought it
offense.
back. Yeah.
They hit with the offense, and there's something that happens that makes the whole movie erupt after this too. But also, in terms of Kurosawa, he spent a lot of money on when they go and they burn the bandits building.
Yeah.
So much to the point where um they had to do it exactly right. Some of the actors got like ventilation problems as a result of the fucking fire because they literally lit the bitch up with gas and there was just toxic fumes everywhere. Some of the actors never fully recovered from the fumes.
Yeah, I can see that.
And they had to make sure that the actors were present enough to get the shot because they couldn't shoot the shot again. So people felt the pressure to stay in place, even though normally you'd walk away from a fire like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
If you think
Yeah.
about how psychologically fucked it was, but Kurosawa had a fucking mental breakdown after this scene. He literally cried because he felt like he did something terribly wrong and he didn't even know if it was going to translate onto the fucking film correctly or not.
It's a different time, yeah, because you would shoot it and you would have to you were like, all right, let's see what I got. And you're looking through the film and the negatives, you're like, oh shit, that's not gonna work. The fact that
Where was that shot? It was beautiful, like when they were in the cave in the water and stuff.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah, that scene, it worked out. Obviously it worked out. But also the thing is that, you know, people got hurt and everybody was upset. And then Kurosawa had a mental breakdown, and then he still had to ask for more money to finish the film.
Yeah.
He
You see
still
what I
made
mean?
he made 4 times that much though. At the end.
Over time. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the I don't
That was the beginning. By now it's like probably more than that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean,
I just think it was really hard for him to stay locked in on this fucking film though. And
Yeah.
I think that that's one of the things that people don't talk about, even in film school and stuff like that. Like it's a detail that's overlooked often. I feel like is
It
that
took
like
6 weeks to write.
Sometimes, because
the
sometimes in film school, from a person that come to film school, we're not really talking a lot about the behind the scenes stuff very often, unless you are doing basically your whole thesis or whatever. You're talking to about a warship, and you're talking about Kurosawa himself as a person and how you can tell his artistship through his films for these reasons and stuff like that. One being the long shot, other being the Japanese, the samurai films, but his non-Japanese, his non-samurai films are equally so fucking good.
right.
Like the thing about I love about this movie, it tells a great story. And at the end of the day, like that's its goal, is to tell you this story, and it does a good job of keeping you engaged. And especially giving you characters that pop out, through the screen where you see them, you get excited. When I see Kashiro, I'm like, yo, like that's my buddy. Like he brings me a sense of happiness when I see him.
Yeah, it's
When I see
actually
the main
that's
guy,
funny that you say that because
when I see
like
the main dude,
literally,
I'm just like, he's badass, calm, cool, collected. Like he's like a grandpa, like a cool ass fucking grandpa. Like, yeah, you want to be around that dude.
Yeah, totally.
That still got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna tell you that so I watched this movie the other day and I had my fucking loose sleeve rolled up. I was ready to fucking get into this movie and I got a whole fucking container of ice cream because I'm a fat ass. and I ate some ice cream and watched this movie for the first time in maybe 3 years. I think was the last time I saw it. Because I bought the Criterion collection, which
I have that too.
actually it's amazing. Like shout out to that. The special features on that taught me so much. Not gonna lie. But also, I locked in. I watched this movie recently, and I was getting excited. Like I was getting giddy. Like Maisie was trying to figure out what the fuck. Like you really like this movie a lot, and she's like, nothing is happening. And I'm just like,
but
listen,
it looks like that, but it's like everything in the world is happening right now. Like this is life or fucking death right now.
I'm literally like visibly excited to meet the samurai.
Yes.
Like all over again. Like it's the first time I watched it. So I'm sure I'm just looking high as hell, crazy, like, getting excited like, it's Monday Night Raw type shit. You know what I mean?
I think once to me, I was hooked probably in the first 10 minutes when they're talking about the plan to even hire samurais. I was just like, that's actually like a really cool idea. And that's why, like,
right. Once they were in the city looking for samurais,
the main characters are not even like at first. The main characters are the farmers, but it's like after intermission, it's like we are now pivoting to more of the samurai being the main characters. Like it is kind of like two movies into one.
It is,
and I love.
It actually has two distinct episodes, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
there is an intermission.
The intermission is fucking fantastic. Also, shout out Criterion Collection for keeping the intermission because you never know what you're gonna get. There's some cuts of Seven Samurai that don't have the intermission
because they cut it down to 2 hours or something. Like they literally the map scene that got butchered. Like they butchered a lot of things when it came to that film. That's why I watched it on HBO Max. That's what I did. I actually have a copy of Criterion Collection, but because the movie's so long, I had to split it into 2 days. I started watching it on somebody's laptop. They didn't have like no ads. So watching this movie with ads like made it felt a little longer, and because the pace is now getting fucked up because it's like it's not this film was not meant to have commercials in it, so you're gonna cut a wrong point. So I was like, I got like the first hour. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not even giving this film justice. Like it doesn't feel right to me. Once I watched it on my HBO Max, I was like, I was hooked in all over again. And you felt the pace, and you're like, oh yes, this is what I'm talking about. It has a nice flow to it.
Yeah.
But it's actually a perfect film for somebody's like, I can't watch the 3 hours. It's still good to watch in chunks. Like, hey,
that's the reason why I've always watched it through the years too, though, man. Because actually, the first time I watched Seven Samurai, I was pretty young. I used to watch like a lot of films. Was that
how like you say how young? How old?
I'm 74 years old.
No, how old were you?
So I was just a baby when it first came out. I was actually like, I think maybe I was 9 or 10 when I first saw the film, and it's because I would watch any like old kung fu movies that I could see.
Yeah.
And one day, like instead of playing like kung fu movies on the Sci-Fi Channel at like 2 a.m., they played this movie, and I remember thinking like, I wanted to go to bed. I started watching this movie, and I was like, is this a show? Is this a movie? What the fuck is this? Because it just kept going on.
Yeah.
I wanted to sleep, but it was like I would stay up as late as I could possibly without passing out during the summertime. You know what I mean? I must have been like 10, I guess. But like,
there's no.
I remember
they played it. They had to play the dub version because like that, they were not showing no subtitle. No, hell no.
Bro, I shit you not. There was so much shit that they used to play on like the old Sci-Fi Channel.
I remember. That's how I watched my Godzilla films as a kid.
So check it out. They would play kung fu movies.
Yeah.
They would play anime movies. They would play like old Western movies, old school, like kind of like AMC vibes To be honest with you,
yeah,
like,
get me, yeah.
but it's crazy because like I saw a lot of shit like that. Of course, it was annoying and it was cut up a million times, like you said. But the thing is that I saw so much shit back in the day just like that, and I was grateful for at least being able to see that shit because it was hard to find movies. Like I went to the library and rented as much shit as I possibly could. You know what I mean?
The library. Hey, that is now a runner on this show where the library is mentioned. That's
Yeah.
because the library is the shit. And if you're tired of streaming services fucking up movies, get a library card and you can see all those movies.
The greatest thing about the library
free.
right now, though, is actually they'll have a lot of those Criterion collections.
Yes.
So all
Yes.
those films that they make in the Criterion collection is like a revolutionary film, man. And it's one of the best ways to see it because you know that the film is upgraded.
The only way I was able to watch a lot of these films as a kid was through the library. Like I got interested in films like this since I was 12. So I was trying to absorb as much as I could. And the library was where it was at. So I mean, if the library, if you're saying like, man, I
get your library card.
Netflix, just get them that. Just get a library card. All you can, like, I understand, like, you want to watch your favorite TV shows. That's fine. Keep a few. But movie wise, I recommend just go to the library because you can actually request movies. So if there's a film, then you're like, man, I really want to watch this. You can request
it's like
it.
Blockbuster still exists.
Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, we couldn't afford shit, so
that too. My mom,
you know, you're preaching to the choir on that one. Like back in the day, bro, we did not have money. But you know what's crazy about this, and it intersects in the conversation. I remember the first time I ever seen an ICP record was when it was on the shelf at the library.
That's crazy. That's crazy
Yeah.
right there.
Yep. And the thing is that I remember maybe I saw it one other time like at the music store, but I couldn't listen to it because it wasn't in the listening station. Y'all remember listening stations?
Yes.
I remember.
Vaguely. I didn't always go to record shops. Record shops were, I didn't start going to them till much later in life.
I'm gonna hit you with some old head ass shit, bro. I'm about to tell you the truth. So the first time I ever seen an ICP record on a shelf, it was Riddle Box, and it was sitting on a shelf at Blockbuster Music, bro.
Blockbuster had music?
Blockbuster Music, dog.
I guess they
And
did.
yeah, they did. And the thing is that it was real big because they had listening stations, an area where you could put on headphones and listen to the record that's being displayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
just scan it or whatever and listen to it.
At this one, you could just hit the play button, but there was one that was at the Virgin Megastore that was like scan it and it'll play. But this is even years ahead of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is literally just you have options to hit the thing on the wall and it plays the music type shit. Y'all ain't know.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all ain't know about that.
I miss family video Blockbuster. I miss it. Everybody thinks streaming service is better. It's not. It's making things worse. Like,
Well, you know, the thing is that I remember seeing Riddlebox on the shelf and I picked it up, looked at it, and I was just like, I wish this was in the fucking listening station. I go to the library and they fucking have it for some reason. And I'm like,
crazy.
God damn, bro. Yeah. So
This is
I
Vegas,
listened to
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
Twin City-
Nellis and Bonanza Library. Holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's crazy.
literally we would walk up there and fucking get whatever they had. We were fucking poor, bro. So like music was such a huge influence on me, as well as like kung fu films and science fiction films and all sorts of shit, bro. We watched everything because we were bored as fuck. We didn't have money to go do shit like that.
And no, at that time, no internet. Like the internet was at its infancy at some point. It's like it was.
I remember when the internet came out. I'm old.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I would go to like my MySpace era was fucking at the library on MySpace. That's the only time I got computer access, man.
Yeah, well, we used
to date myself.
Get your library card once again.
Yeah, my message of whoops up, whoops down. You want to enjoy and watch some of these old classic films, bro? You can get at the library and enjoy them for free. Like,
or use the internet.
Yeah,
or use the internet. Damn,
use the internet. Yeah, you can use that too. But it's like there's something about a physical copy that makes the viewing ship better. I mean, I recently started getting back to collecting CDs because it's like I want there's something about owning something.
Yeah,
important.
Well,
and it feels like it, you know.
What's kind of important though is that like Seven Samurai. That's an important film.
Yeah.
That movie is like in museums.
I say it's like on the Rushmore of important films.
It's a work of art. It's to me, you can almost say it's a perfect film.
And it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
Rotten Tomatoes. Here's the thing about film: it's subjective. So, in Rotten Tomatoes, you have some subjective ass motherfuckers saying whatever they want about film. I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
that's what the show's about too. It's subjective.
I know it didn't matter. Right? I was just saying 100%. What the fuck?
Yeah, well,
that is crazy.
Because
I believe it.
One thing you could say that this one negative you could put in the film is that it's too long. You could tell the story in a short amount of distance, but I don't think the weight of the film. I think that's what when you walk out of this film, you feel it. Still, like I just got done watching it. I still.
You seen the Zack Snyder? Zach's what is it? The Justice League. That shit that's like 4 hours long.
You tell me
that shit was dope.
No. You tell me right now, who didn't know.
I like the longer version.
Okay, so Kurosawa wanted to tell a story and wanted to give me in my feels. Zack Snyder's Justice League is just him jerking off for 3 hours. I'm just like,
you missed Darkseid.
There's many times I'm like, dude, slow motion.
So much again? Shit you missed.
Slow motion again, dog. What? Oh, Aquaman is coming out of the water. Slow motion. Oh, Batman's walking.
It wasn't great. I didn't say it was good.
Listen,
just said it was better.
Is it better than the other Justice League? Yes.
Yes.
Like if I was going to watch a Justice League movie, I would watch that one because the Joss Whedon was ass, total garbage.
I don't know shit about it. I was just saying it was good.
It's okay. It's
compared to the other one.
Yes.
It missed a lot of shit, kind of like Seven Samurai, like when it was brought to America.
Version, yes.
It's like fucking confusing to like the audience and shit.
I would say that
because it wasn't the vision, you know what I mean?
No, and the fact that Joss Whedon came in halfway and was like, "Finish it," kind of thing. It's like Zack started it, and then
it became a comedy after that.
You know what? I've never been an Ezra Miller fan. I hated his Flash. I didn't like Flash. Don't like it. I'm not a DC guy, so it's like, meh.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna have to insist that we don't really talk about this because we could talk about this for the rest of the time.
Yeah, that's fine. Seven Samurai is an amazing film, and y'all should get it at the library if you don't want to pay for the
Yo, Whoopkanda's
get your library card.
Hey, Whoopkanda's a demon, bro, because literally you were setting up with the library thing. He's like, or go on the internet. And then he also just fucking derailed the entire conversation by talking about fucking Joss Whedon and
listen. I remember
talking about Joss Whedon.
He talked about Justice League, the Zack Snyder one, and I remember. I think that was even 4 hours. I think it was even longer. It was stupid long.
That was just a way to say it,
release it. Like, all right, get the fanboys what it want. It was during COVID, like where not a lot of new shit was coming out, anyways. So yeah, I think. I started watching that movie at midnight because I knew no one else would want to watch it with me. So I waited for everybody to go to bed. Then I sat up and I watched it. So maybe if I ever watch it again, which is probably never, I would give it a fair chance.
Who's crazier, the clown or the person who thinks the clown's crazy?
The person who thinks the clown is crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. because it's
Juggalo
it's
ass answer.
like it's a subjective take. It's like so like going back to like Mount Rushmores and stuff like that. Like to me, it's like like I want to know what Japanese filmmaking is like, or I want to see the best Japanese film. I haven't watched pretty much. I'm getting to it. Like I would put like this is the best Japanese film to watch. Like I believe Godfather Part 2 is the best American film ever made. This is the best Japanese film ever made. It's that important.
It's just my favorite movie. I'm not a film aficionado.
I mean, the fact that technically you were technically an aficionado. You love the Seven Samurai, where now you probably could watch other films that inspired it, like a John Ford film. Like watch The Searcher. The Searcher is a John Ford film where John Wayne plays a Confederate soldier. Like crazy.
Yeah, I probably won't watch that.
It's really good because like John Wayne is not a good guy in that film. Like he is not. Like he does some questionable things. But John Ford Stagecoach is where a lot of the influences from John Ford's Stagecoach that Kurosawa saw and used. I think.
That's not a movie that I've seen, but I've seen it referenced.
1930 film. It's a 30s film.
Yeah.
That's the thing about like my film school. You appreciate older films because there's actually bangers that's like silent films.
I've seen a lot, just here and there, but the older you go back with film, it takes even more patience. I feel like Seven Samurai is so relevant even today.
Yeah.
Also, they're making a 4K version of this. Have you seen it?
Oh, I'm buying that.
Bro, it doesn't even have any like scratchy moments, like where the film kind of.
I almost want to say like
here and there.
That gives the film character because the film is so gray and so dirty.
Is it still in the same like widescreen shit?
The grime.
I don't know, actually, truthfully, but it's probably shot in the same ratio.
Does it exist on VHS? Because I need that.
Oh yeah,
I fucking need that.
That's a double VHS all day, buddy.
It might even be it's a double. Yeah, because Godfather.
It's a double.
I think Godfather
Who got
Part
that?
2.
I need that.
Part 2 is a 3, or is it? It's maybe still a 2 because I know that Godfather Part 2 was the first time I saw a DVD where it's like, you got to watch this with 2 DVDs. I was like, dog, what?
That's
crazy.
Yeah, Scarface is two VHSs. So I imagine it's like that.
Yeah. You could probably find it. It's probably a rare find.
Titanic.
It's probably a rare find. Especially you might find the dub version, which is probably gonna have that hour missing. But just to have the symbol. Yeah, I mean, I just love the fact, Whoopkanda, that you watched this a year ago and you're like, favorite film ever.
Yeah, you know what?
It really is, though. Like, I cried, I laughed. Like, it did something to me that, a film has never done. Like I said, I'm not a film aficionado. Like, film doesn't really mean, I'm an empath. I can't watch horror movies because I, feel the people, getting cut up and shit. Like, I can't watch certain shit. So, when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was just beautiful. It was fucking a film is never really good unless the camera is in the eye of the head of a poet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like that.
So the moment that you're describing, the feeling that you had was what I felt when I was 12 years old watching The Godfather for the first time. I was sitting down and I was just kind of like, huh. Like this movie is doing something differently to me. Like the way I'm interacting with it is like beyond the form of entertainment. Like I am connecting, like especially with the Michael Corleone character. I was just like the Al Pacino performance. I was like, yo, I'm like in this movie.
Yeah,
it's for sale on VHS for $20.
There you go.
Samurai?
Yeah,
that's a deal, dog. $20.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of VHS films?
Me? No, I'm
a shitload.
I'm doing the 4K Blu-ray thing. That's what I'm doing. I'm collecting those.
Collecting the good shit. I'm collecting that old shit.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah,
that
that's legit.
VCR box art is better than what the art on physical copies now. Like that itself is worth collecting.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
feel
just
like I
like the
only.
grain, the pop. You know what I'm saying? You were
I
saying it
understand.
earlier.
Trust me.
You were
Yeah.
You're
saying it
telling me.
earlier.
They're showing us.
You were saying it earlier.
They're showing a film version. Like, hey, we found a film reel of fucking Star Wars. We're gonna show it in this theater. I'm like, oh, I'm there. Give me that grime. I understand. Like, I'm nerdy about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a two VHSer for sure.
Nice. Seems like
So
It's
you're.
pretty dope.
what's some of your favorite moments from the film, Whoop?
Yes.
Like, what moments really like stick with you? Because like I have a bunch,
God
but
damn, it's the best ending that I've seen in a movie, but it's like
It's kind of a
my
downer.
heart falls out. But the ending is so good.
yeah,
Like first off, the fucking hero, the badass, I'd call him the hero. Like he gets got, so it's like, and then the heart discovers the fucking what's up and fucking changes that, and that's the most beautiful thing.
yeah.
That's what I think. The ending's my favorite ending of all movies, hands down.
It's very bittersweet because it's like it's a satisfactory ending, but there's so much that's still undone. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, well, that's the state of things right now. You know what I mean? Life
Right.
goes on.
Well, the life moves on for everybody involved, but like the main, like, that's our entry was the farmers. Well, the farmer storyline's done, so it's like he could
That
have
was the
made it
last two motherfuckers. Like
right.
he got the last two motherfuckers while
Now,
being
Yeah.
shot. Might I add you?
Yeah.
Frankie, what's your favorite moments?
Oh man, there's so many because like I feel like when you meet each one of the samurai, it's a special moment,
Yeah,
especially going back and rewinding it. So each one of those moments is special. I think that the way that the movie starts with the the first samurai, he's cuts his top knot. We talked about it
yeah,
earlier, but it's very
To look like a
symbolic.
monk.
Yeah, it was very symbolic. Like he basically to the viewers out there, like he transformed himself to look like a monk. He wore a monk robe and basically tried to talk out a hostage situation where somebody had a small child and they were threatening to kill the kid if they didn't let them go away. But they came in there to steal some shit and they got caught in the house basically. So the monk tries to talk it out with them. He gives them some rice balls, and then at one point he goes in there and he strikes, and the guy doesn't expect it because he thinks he's a monk and not a fucking samurai, right?
Hell yeah.
basically that situation that happened to him, right? That situation of his setup is like kind of like why we would believe he would do this job.
Exactly. And it's about honor
Yeah.
because
Yep.
he's willing to cut his hair to start this, and he has nothing to gain from these people by helping either. And then these fucking farmers kind of look at that situation like, okay, he basically help the child live. It's that type of empathy that we're gonna need in order to
Yep.
mount these troops type shit.
So because and they play on that empathy. Like that whole
Yeah,
first act, that like the farmers have so much empathy because they're so weak. They're so like we feel so bad for them. So when we get to the second part and we go to where they live, they start becoming a lot grayer. Where you're just like, do we even trust these farmers? Can the samurais trust these farmers? Is this a trap for them? Are they gonna turn
yeah.
on us once we help them? Kind of thing.
Also, I just want to put it out there that in the love context of that whole storyline, um, the dad had every reason to worry about his daughter falling for one of these samurais because literally that's exactly what fucking happened, bro.
Yeah, it did. What happened, but just
So
like
he was mega pissed and he was hating because his daughter got piped the day before the final battle type shit.
Hey, she thought she's gonna die. She's like, "I'll give it up.
But
We're gonna die."
that was a great moment, and the reason why that was a great moment though is because there's such a seriousness as the farmer comes back and he's explaining it to the master, and everybody's looking over to try to see who it was that piped, basically.
And we all
And
know who piped.
bro is just standing there like aura farming. He's just like, and then they make fun of it like before the battle. They're like,
Bro,
I guess you're a man now. Like you gotta fight. Go
Because
ahead.
it's not, and he was so worried because samurais at during that time were raping. Because samurais back then, if they took over a village, they were raping. Like they weren't good people as well. So he's like,
they shifted in honor a lot. Like
Yeah.
they started becoming bad people.
yeah. Well, I mean, also because they were, it could be the control of like, hey, this, lord of this told me to come to this village and fuck everything up. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my job.
Yeah, not long ago, people lived by the sword, and like people carried the sword on them. You know what I'm saying? That was like 200 years ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that he got done piping,
and they lived to be 30.
Yeah. By the time they were our age, they're dead because they're just like, we've been fighting so much, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's crazy. But all right. So I would say my favorite moment.
I think also, sorry to cut you off, but I think that moment where what's his name? Is it Yushiro? Kashiro. My bad. Kashiro, when he has that reveal where he explains his origin essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, the monologue.
That's me. This baby is me.
Yeah. And honestly, nobody in that room even said anything back to him during that monologue.
They all had tears in their eyes and were hanging their head.
Yeah, but he came off like real disrespectful when he first started talking, and he could have got smacked up for saying some crazy stuff. But instead, they listened to him, and his fucking testimony for that shit is crazy, man.
I like Kashiro's when he's explaining to them, because the samurai, like I said, they bought hook, line, and sinker to these farmer stories. And Kashiro's was like, don't buy into this bullshit here. They hiding shit from you.
Major reveal with their fucking greed.
Right, and I love how the old man says like farmers live by fear. Like they have to fear when it rains. They have to fear when it's too sunny. They get to fear famine, fear like what are samurais really afraid of? They don't live their life by fear because they deal with death on a daily basis.
And that idea created Bug's Life.
Yes. I love how Bug's Life took that concept. And at the end, right, the circus bugs didn't fuck off at the end. The ants accepted them in and able to be a part of it and have a home, where the farmers really didn't do that. They were like, nope. No, because then you could say like maybe the disciple samurai and the farmer girl could have got together. But the fact that like they couldn't, like the class, it's almost like a Romeo Juliet kind of thing going on here, except they didn't commit suicide yet. Like there's a clear class difference between them where that is not acceptable. He and maybe like samurais are not supposed to father, which is kind of weird because Kashiro's is not really his name. He doesn't really know his name. Doesn't really know his name because he was a baby. He just took this guy's life.
Remember that scroll he bust out?
Yeah, bust out that scroll showing that he's a part of a samurai lineage. So it's like you're not even to become a samurai. It's based on.
They were like, family. You'd be 13 right now, you liar.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that scroll is probably, I think, without a doubt, not his. Like it's somebody else's story.
Right.
Yeah.
He's just trying to take it because it's like he wants to be a samurai, and the only way a peasant like the farmers can't be samurais. It's all about family and riches and class, especially during this time. So it's like the fact that Kushiro was able to be in both worlds, that the samurais accepted him, and actually respected them. Like as they got to know him, they kept respecting him and found him funny and stuff like that. So when he does die, like you feel it. The samurais feel it. You can tell the pain that you feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the final battle stuff too, man, because the way everything is just so wet, like it's being destroyed by rain. Like Kurosawa, he shot in a lot of shitty situations on purpose.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it took him a long time to film this, but that last stretch of the film, I just wanted to say that like it's amazing what they were able to do, shooting in the rain, in the mud, the actors getting fucked up, and also the extras that they hired that don't have any acting experience are getting fucked up by the horses.
There is a shot. Shit. There is a shot when they're doing the plan with the horses that one of the extras get fucking bodied by a horse. You can just see him just getting bodied. You're like, dude, that's real. Because like, this is all live action, dog. This happened in real life.
Yeah. They didn't have a lot of time to film all of that. A lot of those people were extras. And
are they just hitting each other with dull blades? Like, how did they, you know what I'm saying? Like,
dull blades.
How'd they hit each other like that? I guess a dull blade.
All the stabbings and the slice weren't really close. The camera wasn't really close. It's almost like Kurosawa wanted those.
That was before CGI, bro. They were doing some crazy shit.
Because a lot of the action's from like a medium to a long shot, so you can really feel the scope of everything and feel like you're into it. Like there isn't really a lot of closeness. Even like seeing the villagers stab the bandits, you kind of feel bad for the bandits for a little bit because they're just like,
I know if you look at it in the bandit situation, it's fucked up.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like there's no heroes in this story.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
Grays.
But like the ones who are the most heroic have none of the glory, and that's a theme is because like. Man, these bandits got ate alive. They really did not know that this was going to happen. So, therefore, it was not a fair fight.
No.
You see what I mean? No. Like, there was some bandits, but they talk about the actual numbers. It's like, okay, well, you got 7 samurai, but you have an entire village of people that's more than the one big house that you have for the fucking bandits. The bandits are, a step above homeless themselves.
Pretty much. And they don't have, there probably were soldiers from a lord and stuff like that didn't exist anymore. And it's like, once again, they were also used as a weapon of war. So when there's like no leader, no war to fight, what do? They're going to do what they know best, pillage. Like, because that's what they were built and made to do. That's the class that they were put in.
But they also like
playing your role.
One of the first things they talk about is they could have taken more of the rice from them.
Yeah.
But they gave them barely enough to live. And they even say, like, they gave us barely enough to live. And it's because they want them to keep harvesting. If they were truly ruthless, they would have just taken everything they had and moved on. Because a lot of people were doing it like that back then.
Well, and the farmers just and they were afraid of it, their women and stuff like that. It's like the farmers really were like, listen, like, they did this play because they knew without the bandits, they would proffer so much. As well, it comes down to capital. It's like we need, and the fact that, but the bandits were also stealing women. Like they weren't just stealing the food. Like, oh, I have enough. It's just like, oh, that's your wife. Nope, they're not your wife.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a significant point where one of the farmers gets his bitch stolen by the bandits.
Yeah,
and
he has a bad
honestly,
mood the whole time. It's like
he's in a bad mood. He's not able to stop tripping. But also, when he peeps through the fucking crack, he sees his bitch, and she's just chilling, dude. She's like enjoying her life, and it's not as bad.
Oh, that's not how I view it. It looked like they came in.
No. You know why though? I feel like he was responsible for that first samurai's death, so I'm pissed at that dude.
Yes, because he
did act like a bitch, basically.
Well, a very important point is like, they're in it together.
You think he caused that fire situation too?
If you do anything for
No,
selfish
bro,
reasons,
it's because do you remember that they had to kind of like run it back to pull him back out of there?
yep, he was going to go into the fire after her. Yes,
he was going to go into the fire after. That hesitation caused one of the samurai to die.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have any reason to think that that's not true. I mean, don't you guys feel like that?
Well, because like
yeah, same way.
he wanted to go because he knew his wife was there, right?
Yeah, but she
So, but
was
he
just
did
gonna.
not tell. He didn't tell the samurai. Well, two samurais and Shishiro, like, hey, like my wife is there. He kept that to himself. Selfish. If you do things in selfish ways, it can cost a lot. That's because Kishiro did the same thing. He went out on his own, broke rank, did something personally for himself for glory. When you go for glory or you go for selfish reasons,
are you talking about stealing the second musket?
Yes, he was getting the second musket, and he's like, "Look, I did a good job." It's like, no, now you fucked up because now your line, you left your line, and now they're attacking. What the fuck? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I remember.
So when like he in the fact that to me that scene when the woman's waking up, she's just waking up, blah blah blah. She's just kind of like I don't know. She's been raped 1,000 times. I mean, she's
calm down, Josh. Calm down, Josh. I wasn't trying to say it like that. I was just kidding, dog.
Right. So I think the reason why,
he should have got over it. That was my point. He should have just been like, all right.
When your wife kills yourself right in front of you, what are you supposed to do? Oh yeah, no. There's plenty more back there. Like that hurt him. Because I think she didn't want to go back because she felt like if she went back, it would just repeat the horror kind of thing. Stockholm syndrome kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is my chance to die. This is my chance to be fully free from this world and this class. Because maybe she didn't want to marry this man. Maybe because of this class system, she was forced to marry this person. It's kind of like
you're just supporting the fucking thing that I said earlier that she was chilling, dog. You said no, I didn't see it like that. Now you're telling me
I don't think she was chilling. She just kind of like was waking up and smells smoke.
Okay, watch the movie, chat. Watch the movie and tell me if she was chilling or not. Because I mean,
so she sees the fire first. She sees the smoke and doesn't do anything. I think right then and there, she wanted to go down with them.
Absolutely.
So
and I mean, it has.
She was just. Okay, I guess she's chilling. Like, well, we're gonna about to die.
She had an honorable death instead of question mark with this fucking farmer dude who probably wasn't.
Wonder how the actor ran back into that shit.
Well, I mean, they kind of like showed her like going back in one shot, and they cut to a different side of the shot, so we can only just see the flame. So we're not seeing her actual charred body or anything. It's kind of like we're using our imagination that she's getting charred up because she went back in. Cut. New shot, boom, you are able to figure it out by editing.
Yeah, but I also think that they definitely marched these actors back and forth into hostile situations.
Yes.
Even in the fire. And it was all to get the shot, and that's why Kurosawa was extremely nervous about this film. So
I mean, because you don't know the fact with digital cameras and stuff like that, you can see what you did and go like, "Oh, that quite didn't work. We're going to do it again." Shit, film to get film developed to the time you see it, it's probably he got done with it 6 months later or 3 months later. He's looking at the fucking negatives and he can't go, "Ah, shit, I need to reshoot it." No, it's fucked.
Right.
It's fucked, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, if you've never seen this film, too, just realize the editing and all the stuff, like, it couldn't have happened. It was literally just shot in long format, and the thing like I was telling you about is like, okay, yeah, it's long shot, but also there's stuff moving on the screen the entire time. It had to be orchestrated literally on a level that film had never been shot before. I really feel like it was busier in the ways that it needed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think because the scenery and the location that we were in made you feel so locked in. Because it actually it felt, because we were able to see a full shot, a lot of stuff, you felt the weight and felt especially when it's raining, you do feel kind of wet, especially in the mud part too. And you're like, oof, I think it's really
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That and the combination of the music, like I said before too, because that shit does get you hyped. Like you build into it, and I don't know. Certain movies, it's just like it's super easy to watch, and it's like almost like a hypnotic quality that's kind of peaceful, if
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
yeah. It's an action film that doesn't like care about explosions and stuff like that. There's fire, but and then there's a scene when the fire's going on, you can hear it in the distance. Pop, 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 but it's fire. I love that little sound effect, but it's a film that is very peaceful. You can watch it, and
Yeah,
then because it's set in a time where it wasn't peace. That's why you were using words peaceful when you actually look at the context of what's going on. Like, not very peaceful at all times. But you get
yeah,
quiet moments, and those quiet moments you can really feel the characterizations. Like even though they're speaking Japanese, you know you're still connecting with them as people, as humans.
yeah, yeah,
I'm so happy that we're talking about this movie. Like this is what I'm fucking talking about. You know, that where we can
for
talk in depth
sure.
about film because like this is like an example of like this is the reason why film's important. You know, the
Yeah,
way they can tell stories.
yeah, man. Like Kurosawa was a fucking genius, bro. He revolutionized the whole fucking game. Seven Samurai is kind of like smack in the middle of his career.
Yeah,
But the thing is that everything that he got from this film, he was able to turn up with each other film that came after this. And because finally, a lot of things were starting to happen where people praised Kurosawa for the things that he did, but also they started looking at Japanese film as a whole and started seeing it like change American action films for
yeah.
the better. So,
I mean the whole cowboy westerns. I mean it wouldn't have existed if it was well. There was a renaissance because it did come first, and then there was a renaissance. There was so there's a pre Seven Samurai and a post Seven Samurai, where basically
see,
these Western films are basically watching these films and like we're gonna Americanize it and put cowboys in it.
right.
But
Yep,
all right,
totally.
final words. Whoopkanda, go ahead with your final words to Seven Samurai. Anything you want to say about it as we say goodbye?
Watch it.
Yeah,
Don't not watch it. Please watch it. It's a dope ass movie.
at your library or on the internet, whichever. You know what I mean?
Frankie, you got any last words you
Exactly.
want to say?
There's a lot you could say about this movie, man. I'd say watch it. You know what I mean? Because we could all have a discussion about it after you watch it. Just know that it is the most influential film of all time. It touches a lot of bases. It's a good film. It'll make you laugh, like Whoop said. It'll make you cry. You're very invested in the energy of the overall characters. Even some of the like the enemies, it's like you want to know more about them, but you don't spend enough time with them.
The
It's
bandits are
like
the only characters we don't spend a lot of time with.
but it's crazy that you're so invested in every aspect of the world though. It's a excellent like world building movie. It takes a lot of different strategy to write something like this with the war and the map and just everything like that. But it's about how it makes you feel at the end of the day. And this has been like a comfort movie for me for a while now. So shout out to all those movies that make you feel something, man. This is a fucking definitely a movie that'll make you feel if you have a heart. You know what I mean? So check this shit out. Strong recommend. R.I.P. the GOAT, Kurosawa. You know what I mean?
All right, so this is usually I when I don't do it live, I would do the next portion where I don't have these people tell me what my rating is if we're gonna get a whoops up or whoops down. Does Seven Samurai gets a whoops up or whoops down? It's a double whoops. It's a this is the film where I'm just like, is the power of what movies can bring to you, of storytelling, when a person who is actually making the film wanting to make a masterpiece. Like every frame is painstakingly set up in a way to make you feel something.
Right.
It is
Yep.
an absolute masterpiece. It is in my top five, if that matters to you.
That
It
does.
It's a film that
It does.
I think about all the time, and because you watch it, you can see its influence in other things. And what I was taught in film school, what my first day of film school was basically it's like, hey, everybody copies everybody. It's okay. We are inspired in taking things. So you're seeing Kurosawa and you're seeing his nucleus go out into Star Wars, into Bug's Life. But if you could follow him back, like he didn't start all these things, you could actually go back and go, oh, let's watch these John Ford films and see where Kurosawa got his inspiration. His inspiration were from American films. So you can see kind of how that era kind of bled into everything. And I think that's why every audience can get, even though Kurosawa is telling a very Japanese film, like very Japanese, history's very locked in Japanese. Anybody can watch it because he focuses on the characters. He focuses on giving you the time to get to know these people and really feel the grays. The fact that this is black and white is probably one of the best black and white films ever made.
No, it is the best.
It's
black
not,
and white film.
It
is.
When it comes to movies, I always feel like I'm learning from you, and I appreciate that, and thank you.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
He ain't talking to me, motherfucker.
I don't think it's where I'm coming from. So I mean,
I'm just Frankie Goldie, dog.
So I would say like Casablanca's on that list. Like Casablanca is really on that list. If you want to say best American film, one of the best black and white films, I would champion Casablanca. Now over Seven Samurai, that's hard because they're doing two different things. And it came out, there's a 10-year difference. Like this is a 40s film and this is a 50s film. It's kind of hard.
Killer J trying to flex right now, you guys. Like,
well,
he's such a fucking romantic, bro. Like, get out of here, bro. We get it, dog. We get it, Josh Klein.
Movies really saved my life. Like, it keeps me living, keeps me going.
Hey, man, I feel you 1000%.
Well, Seven Samurai is a double whoops up. It's worth your time. If you want to spend 3.5 hours on a film, pick this one. Get a joint and just relax. I would say the perfect viewing of this film, Sunday afternoons, probably around that 11 time. And by the time it's over, bro, it's still, it's 3:00.
At least 2 or 3 joints, not just one.
And the way that the film's set, I mean, like, it's such a comfort movie. It's a perfect Sunday afternoon matinee movie. It's not a movie you're gonna watch at midnight. Why would you do that? You want to watch that, have a cup of coffee, even like a wake and bake session. Put this film on. It will amaze you. It will
just get a loose leaf. You feel me? Load it up as much as you can. Put in a leaf. Do that. Get you some mint chocolate chip ice cream. That's the way I'm doing it. I loaded up. I fucking smoked one down. I watched this movie. I had a great time.
Yeah.
And I connected with this shit in a way that is important to me. And I want y'all to experience that too. So get you a motherfucking loose leaf. Get you a motherfucking chocolate chip mint ice cream. And lock in. Watch Seven Samurai. Shout out Whoopkanda. Shout out Josh Klein. Whoops up. I love you.
Love you. All right. Well, I'm going to say thank you for coming on the show. I'm glad that you were on here, and I can't wait to see you at the gathering. We're just about 1 month away, brother.
Woo.
And thanks for everybody in the chat. I know we weren't reacting. I wanted to talk about the film, but the next time I do a live stream like this, more interactive with the chat. It was kind of a test. It actually worked. I enjoyed this. So thanks for coming on the show. Whoop, whoop. Much clown love.
Whoop, whoop.